Winson Shan getting that free agency question in here.
With a photo of me.
How much will you pay
like 2
Kenyan
years
Drake?
ago.
How much will you personally, Tom, pay Kenyan Drake?
I got a
The
shiny
Rams-
sixpence for him.
The Rams' new logo looks like they copied the Chargers. However, but the Chargers didn't want it, then it looks like it was copied. Also looks like the Internet Explorer logo.
Kenyan Drake's going to be interesting. I know you're a big fan of him, Mitch, so you're running an NFL team.
He had a good year. Also,
yeah.
I think when
you were
look
right,
at,
he had a resurgence once he got out of Miami.
like most running backs do.
Yeah.
See, the issue is, though, I'm not going to pay a running back, right? I mean, if there's history has shown us anything.
I swayed you.
Why would you pay a running back? Now, I think that he's going to end up staying with the Cardinals. David Johnson's going to move on, but I look at what Austin Ekeler got 6 years. You give Kenyan Drake $4 million or $6 million a year. Math.
Ekeler was an RFA, so his market was a little bit more limited. I think a similar Ekeler contract's pretty fair, though.
Okay. Let's go to Sarah Small. What up, girl? Who do the Colts go after? Got a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm super curious to see what path they do go. Now, I think defensive line is going to be an area that they once again look into pursuing. I don't think they'll throw money around at the cornerback spot. I think offensive line, I think they'll bring back Anthony Costanzo.
Yep.
He kind of explored retirement and wants to resign, so he'll be back. The Colts' MO has always been we're not going to invest big in free agency. They'll make some signings, maybe at receiver again, given what happened with Devin Funchess not really making any real impact. But most of their impact will once again come through the draft and maybe quarterback as well in free agency.
Looks like we got another question rolling in, and make sure that you guys are using #FA to get your questions on the show, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you know every single time we do go live. All right, Ante, Petrish, the official. Should my Seahawks bring back Bruce Irvin and Michael Bennett along with Jermaine Kearse? Wow. Mm-hmm. And once again, my name is like Dante, but with the D.
Did you get it right?
No.
He also said no D. So
I literally
please
say Ante.
It's fine. Anyway, that's intriguing. I kind of wonder if Michael Bennett doesn't really want to come back to Seattle, and Seattle doesn't want Michael Bennett back. You can bring back a guy like Jermaine Kearse, but if you do bring back Kearse, that doesn't fix your receiver issue. Like that gets you extra depth there in the potentially a number 4 receiver. But it's like you sign Jermaine Kearse and you go, okay, receiver need checked off. That's not going to move the needle enough. I would also have interest in bringing back Bruce Irvin, but again, that's kind of going to be more of a rotational pass rusher role. It's not like you sign Irving, you lose Clowney. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, you're not bringing back the Irvin, the Michael Bennett that you once had. So we also got another super chat. Colts for Rivers. I hate Rams logo. You're amazing, Mitch. Sarah. Kisses to you. Appreciate you. So, Colts to the River.
Horrible logo.
This is terrible. I mean, Sarah, you are spot on. This is bad. Like, this is a very, very bad logo.
Worst logo ever.
You would really want Phillip Rivers, though, Sarah? Why for yes and for no?
He's upgraded over Brissett, so sure.
True. Let's go. We got another super chat rolling in here from Stats McGruff.
Stats McGruff, which I'm pretty sure is a headshot of Harrison photoshopped onto somebody at the beach. He thinks all the hosts should crack open a beer. We didn't have any beer today. Also, I am going to institute this. You guys can vote in the comments, and, of course, we'll bring up to the
$50 super chat. I'll chug a beer.
Oh, well, I think the exclusive beer of Chat Sports going forward should be Corona.
Oh, God.
Is that too insensitive?
A little bit.
If it is, I apologize. Although I literally had one last night. That's why I thought of it.
I've been drinking only Modelo and Dos Equis. So if we get a $50 super chat, I'll chug a beer, but we got to go find where they are because we moved. Where will Amari Cooper play in 2020? We're going to ask you guys this question. Get your votes in. Then we'll show you some destinations where we think he could play. So let us know, where will Amari Cooper play in 2020? We'll give some shout-outs to people in the comments. All right, Tom, where do you think Amari's playing in 2020?
He's going to be back with the Dallas Cowboys.
You think? You think there's going to be enough money? You're going to pay Dak Prescott $200 million guaranteed.
Okay, first off, you're just wildly inflating. It's not 105 per year. Just space that out. Come on. You have $80 million. You've got more than enough money to pay Dak and pay Amari and pay others. Don't let ownership tell you otherwise, Cowboys fans. You got money to spend.
Seeing Cowboys, Enrique says Raiders, and then Ante Petrish says back to the Raiders. Well, how about this? Another reason to subscribe. We've already made a video on Amari Cooper and his top destinations, and yeah, you can kind of guess who's number one. But also, don't be surprised if maybe he goes somewhere else. Crazy things happen. It's the NFL, but we always have a lot of fun making these kind of shows. Click the big red button, turn on the notifications so you know when a video comes out, like Amari Cooper, top destination. Let's go to Ida Boss. Which free agents are most likely to go to the Giants? Conklin, Byron Jones, Jadeveon Clowney. So which free agents most likely to go to the Giants?
I'm going to rank those for you. I think It's really a tie at the top between Jack Conklin and Byron Jones. It fills two big-time needs for the Giants. They have plenty of money to spend. Conklin fits in at right tackle. Immediately it frees up your first-round pick to be Isaiah Simmons potentially, or Jeffrey Kuda if you don't land Byron Jones, he's still on the board, or even Derek Brown because it is Dave Gettleman. I don't see Clowney going. Now, I think the Giants might meet with Clowney because, again, that does fill a big-time need. But Clowney has said he wants to play for a winner. Right now, that's just not the Giants. Now, we can check back in a few years as they rebuild. So I could see a scenario where the Giants are kind of used as leverage by Clowney to get a little bit more money out of a better NFL team.
Let's go to Alex Johansson.
There you go.
Where will Melvin Gordon go? Falcons. It's an interesting fit. Devonta Freeman, he's gone.
Look, Melvin Gordon's a really weird fit for me because he's not going to be that expensive. His market has clearly dropped down. Miami would, of course, fills a huge need, but I don't think Miami wants to spend on that particular position. I'll throw out this just as an idea, and you can hate it if you want. What about the Bills?
The Bills
they
are
have
a sleeper team.
1-year deal. Let's just say $5-6 million. You tag team Gordon and Devin Singletary together for a team that wants to run the football a lot.
When I made my
just
top,
throwing it out there.
Or my
Houston,
top destinations for Melvin Gordon, I had the Bills. I think they were in my top 3. Houston Texans, they'd be interesting, but I kind of want the Texans to maybe go after another running back, maybe a little bit more talented. So we got another question coming in from Sir Lister of Smeg. Should the Raiders prioritize Littleton, Schobert, or Jones? So I will say the Raiders have cut Tahir Whitehead, and now linebacker I do think is a bigger need. However, out of all 3 of those players, I think Byron Jones is the most special. So
he's really good.
I will prioritize Byron Jones, but then it's probably for me Littleton and then Schobert. But Schobert might actually feel a bigger need because he plays middle linebacker, which is another bigger need for the Raiders because they have nobody at linebacker. So Jones, Schobert, Littleton, that's how I would prioritize
I think getting any of those guys would be a really good move for Las Vegas. I caught myself, though, so it's fine.
All 3, bring them to the Raiders. And if you guys want Raider fans, you guys need a new hat, check out this one, chatsports.com/NFL hat. If you're not a Raiders fan and you want to rep your favorite team, again, it's at the link below, chatsports.com/NFL hat. We got hats for every single team. It's in the comments. We'll put it early in the description, so all you got to do, if you can't type that in, you can click on it. It's really easy. But we got hats up to 45% off. I don't like the 49ers. That white hat, it looks good. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's a lot better than the Rams Chargers new logo. Let's go to Douglas Anderson, who needs to get a picture. Which 2 free agents do you think the Dolphins will sign? So the Dolphins, they got money to blow. But I still don't know if the Dolphins want to go out and really spend in free agency.
I think if they will be particular because you're probably going to have to overpay because you're not a great football team. That's the reality. It's okay. It happens to everybody at various points throughout their histories. I think offensive line is going to be key. How about someone with a connection to the Patriots or to the front office and the organization and the coaches already? How about Joe Thuney? If there's a huge need at offensive guard, you can afford him with ease there. That takes care of one starting spot. I think Brandon Treff, if he's not franchise tag, could also be a fit. How about someone like a Vic Beasley? Because you need edge rusher help or Shaq Lawson. Take that 1-year, do exactly what the Bucs did. 1-year deal for like $5 or $6 million. See how it ends up playing out, and either the player gets more money, you can even re-sign him then if you want.
I mean, Vic Beasley last time he was
Kyle
playing.
Van Noy.
Patriots, Kyle Van Noy.
Exactly.
Like it. All right, let's go to Tad Desai. Biggest free agency prediction. Byron Jones to the Raiders.
Okay, it'll be Byron Jones will stick in the NFC East. I think the Eagles or the Giants, potentially both of them, are going to get involved in a huge bidding war.
Okay.
Like the cornerback market has not really been reset in a while. Xavier Howard kind of did, but only minimally. That tends to happen. These massive resets happen in free agency when there's a bidding war for players and they just inevitably get overpaid. I think that's going to happen with Byron. I would be surprised if he signed for less than 16 or 17 million. It's going to be expensive.
I think the other really thing to monitor is what happens with Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry.
Okay.
There's a part of me that wonders.
Yeah.
We think both those players should stay in Tennessee. There's part of me that wonders if one of them is going to leave. Let's go to Dalton Smith, one of our most loyal watchers. What up, Dalton? Should the Saints sign Jamie Collins? So I like Jamie Collins a lot. He's up there in age. He's about 30 years old. But he's a linebacker that can do just about everything, in my opinion. Yes, he is getting a little bit older. I think he's had a pretty good, solid When I think of Jamie Collins, I think of his best days with the Patriots.
Yeah.
He's bounced around with the Browns. But what do you think, Tom? Should the Saints go out and get him?
There was a report that the Saints were going to have interest there, and I think it does make some sense, especially if you're going to utilize Jamie Collins as kind of that, really what he's been the past couple of years, this kind of hybrid linebacker, defensive end player. And I think there is room for that player on the Saints as almost a 4-3 Sam linebacker, situational pass rusher. Like you could get creative with this defense, kick Cam Jordan inside on passing downs, and have Jamie Collins blitzing off the edge or coming in off the edge along with Marcus Davenport. And then at linebacker, you have DeMario Davis and A.J. Klein played a lot, but Kiko Alonso, Craig Robertson, those guys aren't great. So as that kind of versatile player, I think it does fit for New Orleans, and that should be a relatively cheap signing that I think would fit in well with their potentially expensive cap off season.
Make sure that you guys are using hashtag FA to get your questions on the show. Or if you super chat us, we'll also get you here up on the show. So be patient there. So we got Zach Lindegaard. Who is the next team for Tom Brady? I still believe that he's going to be a Patriot, but how about this? You can't say the Patriots. What do you think is the most likely team then that he goes to?
I kind of wonder if it's the Titans, honestly. A lot of that depends on what happens with Ryan Tannehill, obviously, but Vrabel is good friends with Tom Brady. If Brady does leave the Patriots, I think he wants to go somewhere he's comfortable. I think that could be Tennessee.
They have a good defense. They have a good running game. They got a lot of pieces around them. They also just beat them in the playoffs. My vote is also for the Tennessee Titans. We got a super chat rolling in here from my man Michael, looking swole in the gym. When Kirk Cousins' contract is up, no question Kyle Shanahan will inquire, why not sign Brady, get draft capital from Jimmy trade, no need to wait?
Well, a couple of reasons here. Number one, you don't know that Cousins will hit the open market. Yep. I mean, Minnesota in 2 weeks would say, let's extend you and get your cap hit down for this year. That way we have more money to play with.
He actually had a pretty good year.
Yeah. And, remember, I get it. It's Shanahan. It's Cousins. Those two have clearly had success together. But they could have focused on Cousins, and then they traded for Jimmy G before that.
Yep.
So it's not like they haven't just ever had a chance to potentially pursue Kirk Cousins. He hit the open market, and they chose before that began to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. So you don't know for sure that Kirk Cousins will be there. And then what could happen to you is you've downgraded at quarterback. Yes, you get more draft capital for Jimmy Garoppolo, but you've got 1-2 years of Tom Brady. Does he want to sign a one-year deal, by the way? I don't think he does. I don't think that's what he wants to do. I think he wants to play more than just 1 year. So you're going to potentially alienate Jimmy Garoppolo and get him out of there. You're going to trade for Brady. You interject a lot of uncertainty into the most important position on an NFL roster. That's something NFL teams typically don't like to do.
Especially a team that's coming off just being in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
All right, here, how about this? I think Byron Jones is the top cornerback in free agency.
You are correct.
I think right now he's a top 5 player actually in free agency overall.
You are
so
correct.
Where will Byron Jones play in 2020? If you guys can throw it in the comments section. I'm going to say he's going to be a Raider.
We put my top 5 out there on the channel. It's already available. Giants and Eagles are going to throw a lot of money his way. I don't know if Oakland or if Las Vegas is going to want to get involved with that one. Every damn time.
Take a drink, Tom. All right, so where will Byron Jones play in 2020? We'll give some shout-outs here. Jeff Rogers, Enrique, and my Raider guys. Seeing a lot of Raiders. Why not, says Raiders. Noah Stanley says Raiders. Raider Nation from Life from Francis. Jones to the Chiefs from Adam. Let's go to Simon says, is Yannick Ngakoue, or whoever, or
however. It was close there.
His name.
Yeah, let's all take a drink.
Going to the Seahawks. Do we think Yannick's going to the Seahawks? So there was a report that he was going to get tagged. He doesn't want to be there anymore.
I don't know if you're going to see Seattle spend the necessary capital to add Ngakoue when they're going to try and re-sign Clowney first.
Yep.
And if that takes a little bit too long, a team like the Bills or the Giants might come offer and say, hey, we got this shiny second-round pick for you. You guys interested? And they go that route, and all of a sudden, Seahawks not there. So I think Seattle makes sense for him, but I think those two upstate New York teams, Buffalo and the Giants, make a little bit more sense.
Simon says, get a picture. Where will Carl Joseph land? Andrew Walker. What's going on, my man? Carl Joseph. I think he's definitely going to hit free agency, but I think in terms of
they won't tag him for sure.
They definitely won't tag him, but I also don't think they're going to re-sign him. I think if you're Carl Joseph, you were drafted in 2016, first-round pick, your first 2 years in the NFL, a little shaky, played a little bit better down the stretch in 2018.
Have been a problem.
Played a little bit better in 2019. Injuries are the problem. I think your best bang for your buck at safety, though, is like a player like Carl Joseph. One of the reasons why Not really sure if the Raiders bring him back. He's kind of more of a strong safety. They already have that in Jonathan Abram. But if you're looking for a player who I think is actually going to sign a 1-year prove-it deal,
I
think
agree.
it's Carl.
And I think the Cowboys are a team that make a lot of sense for him.
Yeah,
I think that could potentially be a fit if the Saints lose Von Bell and want a safety that we mentioned them earlier. They could be fit. I think they'll be interested in Carl Joseph. It'll probably all be pretty similar money, and he'll just try and pick his best.
I think another team that could be interested is the Minnesota Vikings because, again, I think Joseph's like $4 or $5 million. Speaking of money, BetDSI, it's the internet's #1 sportsbook. If you want to bet on games like the XFL, if you want to bet on who's going to win the Super Bowl for the NFL, if you want to bet on MLB, NBA, you can do all that at BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Just got to use that promo code NFL120. So right now we have the NBA title odds.
These are updated, by the way, because the Lakers have jumped past the Bucks after they beat Milwaukee and LA in back-to-back weeks.
The Lakers have been playing really well.
They have been.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if LeBron won MVP. I mean that.
Well, first off, LeBron should MVP like every single year. So yes,
not last year.
Correct, not last year, but that's why I said almost every single year.
All right, NBA title odds. If you guys want to let us know who you think is going to win the championship, throw it in the comments. Barrett B49. Who will sign Tavon Austin? Who cares?
I don't know.
Barrett, I love you, but Tavon, come on, man.
The Cowboys will, I think, have some semblance of interest, but
I'll do what you guys always do.
It just you're making XFL jokes. No, he'll be in the NFL somewhere, but he's never going to be the guy the Rams thought they were getting when they drafted him.
All right, let's go to my man, Tommy G. Get a pick. With Rhett Ellison retiring today, should the Giants make a move for a tight end like Austin Hooper or someone else? Ingram can't stay healthy.
I would say somebody else. You're right that Evan Ingram has injury issues. I thought Caden Smith actually played fairly well for them. I would look for an insurance policy because if you bring in Austin Hooper, that's not insurance.
Yep.
That's buying a new car.
Correct.
That's not the route you need to end up going. So if you bring in someone like Hooper, trade away Evan Ingram, which will be plenty of teams.
I'll tell you what, if there's a player that I wouldn't be too shocked if the Giants go out and get, I know they like Evan Ingram a lot, Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool profiles very close to Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Claypool's going to be...
He could play receiver or tight end, I think, in the NFL. I think that's fair. In free agency, maybe an Eric Ebron for 1 year. But I don't know how much interest. He might have more interest elsewhere. I'll throw out a name. Who says no? Jason Witten.
Oh.
Yeah. Think about that one. That's an insurance policy.
Let's go to Ray, Lil J. Who are possible players the Texans might go after in free agency? I mean, I think you gotta upgrade at running back. I think that's a major need. I mean, Carlos Hyde. No offense to Carlos Hyde.
You might do that through the draft because you can keep Duke Johnson. You can find somebody there.
I thought they were a serious candidate for the Jags guy that just got traded away.
AJ Boye.
Yeah, but they need cornerback help. They definitely need a running back, in my opinion. You got to build around Deshaun Watson.
Honestly, their #1 priority this offseason, get Laramie Tunsil's extension done. That's going to save you money in the long term.